Okay, let's talk about emotions and influence and how we can leverage the brain's reward system. Now, this is all about emotions, and emotions are a big part of our lives, right? They have a huge impact on us, not just professionally, but also on our personal performance. So when it comes to influence and understanding how emotions work in the brain, this is a hugely powerful tool, right? This is something great to have in your arsenal, in your toolkit. So let's dive into the neuroscience behind emotions and influence and how we can leverage your brain's reward system to improve performance. Now, first off, emotions are processed in several different regions of the brain, which can include the amygdala, the prefrontal cortex, and also the insula. Now, the amygdala in particular, this is the one that's responsible for processing emotional stimuli and for initiating that fight or flight response that we all love, right? Your prefrontal cortex, on the other hand, this is involved in regulating emotions and making decisions. Now, your insula, this helps us become aware of our emotions and also our bodily sensations. So this is a lot of somatic stuff going on. Now, let's talk about your brain's reward system. Now, this system involves the release of neurotransmitters. We know some of these, we know all of these guys, I think, by now. This is dopamine and serotonin, and these are responsible for feelings of pleasure and also feelings of reward. So when we experience something pleasurable, and this can even be something like eating chocolate, or it could even be receiving praise from somebody that we respect and we value their opinion, our brain releases these neurotransmitters and we feel good, right? Neurotransmitters get released, we feel good. Now, this system, it's really closely tied to our emotions. And a lot of the time, our emotions are just our way to comprehend what's going on inside our bodies, right? What's happening to us psychological and what's happening to us physiological. So when we start to notice these things and we start to become a little bit more aware of it, this is where we can then start to leverage this to influence behavior. Now, when it comes to influence, one way that you can tap into your brain's reward system is by using positive reinforcement. So this means rewarding good behavior rather than punishing bad behavior. So for example, if you're a leader, if you're a manager even, and you're trying to motivate your team, you could praise them for their hard work, right? So if you're a manager or if you're a leader and you're trying to motivate your team, you could praise them for their hard work. Sounds silly, but I'll say it one more time because a lot of people just don't do this. We're so, and especially in Australia, we have a tall poppy kind of culture. So we like to cut people down, and sometimes we do it in a joking way and we do it in a playful way. But if you are a leader, and you're trying to motivate your team, you could praise them for their hard work, or you could give them bonuses for meeting goals. So this kind of positive reinforcement, that triggers that release. So that positive reinforcement triggers the release of dopamine and other neurotransmitters, which is making your team feel good, and it's motivating them to continue to perform well. Now, another way to leverage the brain's reward system is by creating emotional connections with others. I know, we're leaders and now we have to create emotions. Wow, but this is the world we live in, right? We know this stuff now. We know that as humans, we crave connection. We crave being part of something. We want to belong. We want to feel secure. So when we feel connected to someone, and this can be a colleague or a friend, our brain releases oxytocin, which is the cuddle hormone, the love drug. Now, this neurotransmitter, it's responsible for feelings of trust and bonding, and it's also a very powerful tool for influence. So when we build these strong relationships with other people, we can tap into that brain's reward system and we can increase our influence. And that's really what we want to do, right? So the question is, how can we improve our ability to leverage the brain's reward system for influence? Because we want to do this for ourselves, but we also want to do this for other people. Now, one way is by becoming more self-aware of our own emotions and how they affect our behavior. And by understanding how our emotions work, we can actually better regulate them and we can make more conscious decisions. Now, for example, if you know that you tend to get angry when you're criticized, right? Don't handle feedback, too well, that's okay. You can work on it, and you can work on controlling that anger and that frustration and responding in a more productive way. That's going to make you a little bit more influential. You're going to be able to better influence the outcome of those conversations. Now, another way to improve your ability to leverage the brain's reward system is by practicing empathy. Empathy is all about putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, right? And understanding their perspective. So when we practice empathy, we activate the same regions of the brain that are involved in our own emotions. And this allows us to better connect with others. And when we better connect with others, we're better able to influence their behavior. So what does this all mean? How do we sum this up? Well, in conclusion, basically, emotions, they play a massive part, a really big role in our professional and personal performance. And by us understanding how they work in the brain, they are a really powerful tool for performance. So you really need to, I think, understand that first. We think often as influencers, this thing that we're able to push onto others by the way that we speak or, strategies that we have and moves that we make. And that's part of it. But you really can't underestimate emotions and how they play a big role in our professional and our personal performance. And when we take the time to understand how they work in the brain, this can be a really, really great asset and a really good edge for you to increase your influence. So just remember, by leveraging the brain's reward system, this is really what we're trying to do to influence people. We can do that through positive reinforcement. We can do that through building emotional connection with others. And when we do that, we can improve and we can increase our influence and improve our performance and how we're able to get our point across. Buyer beware, please use your powers for good, not evil. Now, when we do become more self-aware and when we do practice empathy, these are just a couple of ways that we can improve our ability to leverage the brain's reward system. So get out there, start using your emotions to your advantage. Don't just let yourself be a victim to them, and enjoy it, feel the feelings, ride the rides, ride the hose, ride the lows, and just enjoy it. Emotions give you insights into what's happening in your brain and into your body. And those are the things that we want to become more aware of and more conscious of, because when we become more conscious and aware of those things, that's when we're going to be able to be more influential. Bye for now.